I'm sure many are aware of Elon Musk, SpaceX, StarShip, in this failed rocket launch. $3 billion, the supposed cost of this rocket, the world's largest rocket. And a lot of people out there actually believe the foundation of this monumental lie of space travel. Can't get past God's firmament. We'll get into that in a little bit. But nonetheless, this is nothing but nonsense. Nothing but an expensive, very expensive bottle rocket that's going nowhere. And we'll speed this up here a little bit, actually move it forward. And this is just prior to the explosion. Of course, it's meant to happen this way. It's meant to go down this way without a shadow of a doubt. Quote, failed to separate. They just imploded the Starship rocket. As you see right here, no separation, so they just implode. They abort the mission, so-called mission, which we know is nothing but a psyop. And that gets to Elon Musk. As you can clearly see, doing the Masonic hand sign, the diamond sign, which is 33. And everything about SpaceX, from the Falcon 9, as you see here, this rocket being 33 numerology. Also, of course, with the Starship itself. This is from Daily Mail, which I call the Daily Fail. And, of course, the 33 engines. Again, everything is coded. And talking about coded, just take a look here at what Elon Musk states here back in 2016, September 2016 to be precise. And I'm going to play the clip, what he says here. What I'm really trying to achieve here is to make Mars seem possible.
What I really want to try to achieve here is to make Mars seem possible. Make it seem as though it's something that we can do.
What do you mean seem possible? You should say the objective is to get to Mars, not seem, because we all know what seem means. To give the outward appearance of being or to pretend to be. So again, with all the lies, they give us the truth in plain sight, specifically here with Elon Musk. And that gets to so-called space travel. In this footage going way back to 2016. From Cocoa Beach, Florida. And just take a look here at this launch with SpaceX. Obviously, for the sake of time, I sped up the footage and you can see at no point is SpaceX going into space. I mean, people have eyes, but they cannot see. It's obvious this is nothing more than an expensive bottle rocket. And I stated many times, this is why they launch off the coast of Florida. A lot of these missions with SpaceX, and specifically NASA, all these rockets, all they do is go into the Bermuda Triangle. And there's a reason they have that bad stigma with the Bermuda Triangle, like I said many times. But definitely, for those that have eyes to see, will know SpaceX does not go into space. Now, with fictitious space travel, we all know, or should know, the NASA Enterprise, the very first space shuttle, so-called space shuttle, that was produced back in the late 70s, and obviously never went into space. And here you see it being piggybacked aboard this Boeing 747. And just take a look here as I demonstrated before. Named for the fictitious Star Trek vessel Enterprise, as you see here. And you're going to see how this relates to SpaceX and all so-called space travel. They put the truth in plain sight. How all this nonsense is just science fiction. Where it states here from NASA's official website, Falcon 9 is named for the Millennium Falcon in the Star Wars movies. So, again, science and science fiction integrated. All these so-called science fiction movies are prepping the public for fake space travel. No doubt about it, Hollywood is all about programming the masses. As you see here from NASA's official website, let's take a look here. And what does it say? 50 years of NASA and Star Trek connections. And scrolling down, what do you see here? The cast from the original 1960s Star Trek series, and just more of the same. More connections with individuals from the cast from Star Trek, the original series, and NASA. It's all in plain sight for all to see. They're basically working together, where you have, again, science and science fiction being one and the same. And that's funny because I'm going to show a clip with William Shatner giving the truth in plain sight, with science and science fiction being one and the same.
You've inspired so many people to enter the sciences. How do you balance science with science fiction?
They're both the same. Science and science fiction are essentially the same.
Thank you very much.
I can hear machinery blinding me with science.
Blinded by science, where do I belong?
Now, one thing I really want your generation to embrace is that the Earth is a closed system. We cannot leave the Earth. There's no place to go. Is that the Earth is a closed system. We cannot leave the Earth. There's no place to go.
Well, when I was standing outside that capsule, it was a very quiet and peaceful moment, you know. At that moment, you look at the world, it looks very fragile. You could see the curvature of the Earth.
You've been lied to by textbooks, and that dude who jumped out of a perfectly good balloon, what's his name? Felix Baumgartner, he would have been about 2 millimeters above the surface of this globe. That's his edge of space jump. Now, you know, I don't. It's fine. He wants to. I don't have a problem if he does it, but the honesty of it would greatly diminish what I think people thought he was actually doing. And not only that, they made sure to photograph him standing there with a really wide-angle lens, which curves horizontal lines. Right. So in the photo, you see this curvature of Earth's surface, and he said, "Wow, he's in space. Look at that."
You could see the curvature of the Earth.
No, he's not. At that height, you don't see the curvature of the Earth if you are 2 millimeters above this beach ball. You just don't. That stuff is flat. That stuff is flat. That stuff is flat. You've been lied to by textbooks.
To keep us asleep, keep us selfish, keep us sedated.